More than 200 cases of the tick-borne illness, Sfts, have been reported so far this year, marking the highest number since 2020, according to the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency.
질병관리청 감염병포털 집계 결과 진드기가 옮기는 감염병인 중증열성혈소판감소증후군 Sfts 환자 수가 올해 들어 200명을 훌쩍 넘기면서 2020년 이후 가장 많은 수준을 기록하고 있는 것으로 나타났습니다. All right, so Sfts.
Yes, severe fever with Thrombocytopenia Syndrome is the very long name for it, hence the acronym.
Okay.
Basically what it is when you have a low platelet count in your blood. And platelets, they're the little things that run about your blood and they clot it.
Yeah.
So they stop you from bleeding too much.
혈소판 platelets.
Yes.
Okay.
So the issue is well, we've had more cases this year than last year. Last year we had 170. This year so far we're at 220. 2020 we had 243. So we're almost getting up to that number. And it's the highest we've had since then.
What are the symptoms?
Well, first of all, you get bitten by a tick. That's how you get it.
Okay.
Once you get bitten, it's going to take about 2 weeks or so for symptoms to appear.
It's not immediate.
No, it may take a little time. So the symptoms are you get a high fever, you may have nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. However, if it is a severe case, a very serious case, you can get these low platelet counts, also low white blood cell counts. And in some cases, sadly, that does result in death.
Oh my goodness.
It's a serious disease. It was officially designated as a communicable disease in 2013, and it can actually be transmitted as a secondary infection in very rare cases as well. So I think Korea is being very careful about this and taking note of it, but also it's a good warning for all of us. I mean, now we're all wearing long trousers and socks, but still, if we're in wooded areas and areas with long grass, we should be careful that we should look out for ticks. And if we do spot them, get them off you as soon as possible.
진드기, ticks. That's how the virus is transmitted in the first place. Is it a virus? Or
it's an illness.
Disease?
A disease and illness,
right.
I think, is I can't confirm whether it's a virus or not.
Okay, so the disease, the illness, is transmitted through a tick, 진드기를 통해서 감염이 되고요. And let's just go over each of the symptoms one by one, because I think this is really important to know how to express these things, because we can all get sick. And you need to be able to say it in English just in case.
Well, the main symptoms are also symptoms you get for many other diseases.
Yes,
so they're very good terms to know.
Yes.
The first one is high fever.
고열.
Yeah, we don't say someone has a low fever. We only use it as a high fever, and that's when your temperature is above normal.
That's right.
The second one is nausea.
구토 증상이죠.
So when you're feeling sick, you're feeling as if you're going to vomit.
그러니까 구토를 하는 게 아니고요. 메스꺼운 겁니다. Nausea.
Because it's good to differentiate that with vomiting, which is actually throwing up.
그러네요. 구토하는 건 vomiting, nausea는 그 느낌, 그 메스꺼운 느낌.
Yeah, so for example, if I go on a boat, it's usual that I feel nauseous.
Yeah, the smaller the boat, the more
nauseous I will feel.
Yeah.
And there, I don't necessarily throw up, but I have that feeling inside me.
Yeah.
And the last one, which is also a common and not very nice one, is diarrhea. When you can't stop going to the toilet.
이건 설사거든요. For some reason, kids love this word and they get a few giggles out of it. They think it's very, very funny.
Very funny, but also difficult to spell.
Oh, very difficult to spell, actually. I always have to double check.
Well, if you double check, always check for the double R. That's the big clue. D-I-A-R-R-H-E-A.
네. diarrhea, 요게 이제 설사인데요. 스펠링이 좀 어렵죠. 이런 증상들이 나타난다고 합니다. Let's go back to it being tick-borne.
Yes.
And that's our first expression for this headline.
Yeah, when we have a suffix of borne, and this is B-O-R-N-E, it means it is carried by whatever it is attached to. So in this case, tick-borne, meaning this illness is carried by the tick. Airborne, meaning it's carried by the air. Waterborne, carried by the water, and so on and so forth.
그래요. 무엇에 의해서 전염이 된다라는 의미로 뒤에다가 borne을 붙이는데요. B-O-R-N-E 까지. So airborne diseases 이런 표현도 우리가 예전에 뉴스에서 많이 봤는데 대기 중에 공기 중에 이렇게 감염이 된다.
Yeah.
이렇게 뭐 재채기를 한다든지 비말을 통해서 뭔가가 전해질 때 그렇게 표현하죠. 여기서는 tick-borne.
Yes, and if you're carried by Matt Damon playing a spy, you'll be Jason Bourne.
Right, the Bourne Ultimate was it?
Bourne Identity, the Bourne Legacy, the Bourne Ultimatum.
그래요. 그런 영화 시리즈 있었죠. 상관은 없지만 다 같은 단어입니다. What about this Sfts? You gave us the long version earlier on. I can't
did.
remember it.
No, and to be honest, I think if you remember the acronym, that's going to be easier and more useful because very often in cases like this, like with other diseases, we just remember the acronym.
No one's actually going to say the full name, right?
Unless you're a doctor, you don't
Right.
need to memorize this.
Okay.
So it's severe fever with Thrombocytopenia Syndrome. So that's the full name, but SFTS is all you need to remember.
I know the other three words, but thrombocytopenia is an unfamiliar one to me.
This is when we're dealing with the platelets. So again, we have white blood cells, which are your guards. They're security guards. They'll go around beating up all the viruses and so on.
백혈구.
Then you've got your red blood cells, which is
적혈구.
carrying around the oxygen and basically doing the manual labor. And then you have the platelets, and the platelets are like the paramedics, the emergency team. So whenever you have an issue like you're bleeding or bruising, they come in and they clot the blood. So they stop the blood from being so liquid, they make it thicker.
Okay.
So you're safer. But the issue with this is thrombocytopenia is when you have a low platelet count. You don't have enough platelets in your body.
그래요. 혈소판 수치 감소라는 뜻인데 의학 용어이기 때문에 우리가 일상생활 속에서 알 필요는 없습니다만 여기서 이제 SFTS라는 요 약자만 기억하시면 돼요. Severe fever, 고열이 있고 with Thrombocytopenia Syndrome, 혈소판 수치가 감소하는 증상이 동반된다라는 뜻이네요. 네, 우리말로는 뭐였냐면은 아까 중증 열성 혈소판 감소 증후군이 되겠습니다.
That's another mouthful too.
그러니까 이것도 마찬가지로 우리도 SFTS라고 하면 되겠죠. I'm going to read this one more time. More than 200 cases of the tick-borne illness SFTS have been reported so far this year, marking the highest number since 2020, according to the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency. Let's move on to the next headline.